guys, it's Sarah Joy. Welcome to my channel. I always vlog about interior design tips, and I also take you along on projects that I do around my house each and every week. So if that sounds good to you, make sure that you're subscribed and you won't miss a video whenever they come out every single Tuesday. Today I want to talk to you about different organizational tips that you can use around your home. I don't know about you, but I feel like spring cleaning starts in January, just as soon as we're weeding through all the Christmas stuff and taking it down, and you're off to a clean start already. And a lot of times you're just motivated to do things differently this year and to get your life in order. And so for a lot of us, that's a great time to jump into some more organizational things around the house. I want to give you my 5 tips for keeping your home in order in a clean and aesthetic way. So here we go. Tip number 1 is one that I use all the time. It really helps me organize my things, be mindful of what I'm using. And here's what it is. It is take everything out of its original packaging. So for me, whenever I go to the grocery store, I have a whole process that happens right afterward. So no matter if you get a grocery delivery or if you head to the store, it's a whole ceremony when I come home and I start organizing things and taking them out of the packaging and putting them into storage containers that I will use. It helps me visualize and see everything that I have on hand. And that's also a good time for me to go through the produce and wash it and all that stuff. But you can really do this all around your house. It doesn't just have to be with your groceries and your baked goods, but that is one of the things that I use it for. I take all my baking goods and put them into jars. It actually helps extend the shelf life of them a little bit longer. Another thing that I do is with some other things around the house, like Q-tips or toilet paper or soaps in the bathroom. That can really help you in the long run because you're seeing everything that you have on hand and you're making a system out of it. And so whenever you open up closets or pantries, or even if you have things displayed on the shelf, they actually look really put together and not just chaotic and disorganized. I feel like in a lot of ways, it really helps you know where your stuff is and also just feel really happy about it because you've taken that time to really make it blend and feel like a system. The second thing is a tip that I think you'll really appreciate, and that's if you use it often, go ahead and make it a system. And you can take this and personalize it for whatever it is in your life. If you're using office supplies all the time, or if you're using art supplies all the time, or if you're using some kind of tech good. For me, I think a lot of the customizations that I did has to do with food and cooking because we do so much cooking at home. I feel like I needed to just take the kitchen and kind of tweak it around the things that I would find most useful. So for a few examples, in our kitchen, one of my pet peeves is running out of clean silverware because we're constantly eating meal after meal at home, and that's a lot of dishes each and every day. And so I actually use 2 drawers inside the kitchen with dividers to put 2 sets of silverware inside of our kitchen. And so for us, that really works well because we're never running out of clean silverware. For you, it might look like something different. Another thing is I saw a TikTok video just at the beginning of the year and it inspired me. Her idea was to take the produce bins that are at the bottom and actually put all of your condiments in there and then put all of the snacks and foods that you like to grab all the time into the door of your refrigerator. Because she said, a lot of times for her, and I would agree, whenever you put produce into a bin, it kind of just goes there to die and you forget about it. Whereas the condiments are all on display, but when you go to the fridge and open it up, you're just looking for a snack. So why not put your lunch meats and your yogurts and your cheese sticks and everything that you're reaching for, put it in that door or put it, on the shelves where you can see it, and then put all of the condiments and things that you're gonna go looking for anyway in the produce bins underneath. I have incorporated that, I really enjoy that, but you can take this and personalize it for yourself and just think about whatever you use really often, whatever you find yourself reaching for or needing to use every day, make a system out of it and make it aesthetic for you. It doesn't have to be something that's just always out and disorganized. You can switch it up to be something that really just alleviates a stress that's on your life or alleviates some clutter that's in your life. And it can also be a nice system that looks really good in your home. The third thing that I will recommend does require purchase, but it's investing in quality storage that you really like to look at. If you know me, you know I love thrifting, so I'm always picking up just some unique baskets or bins that I find, and I incorporate those actually into decor around the house. You'll see I have like little baskets. For me, a lot of times they hold like the random things that I just need a place for. So whatever it is that you need a little home for, maybe it's like kitchen drawer stuff, you might find a place to just throw it in a basket and actually use it as decor. I do the same thing in our living room, some odds and ends, just pop them into a basket. In the laundry room, there's a wide array of things that I keep, from extra paper bags to laundry supplies to things that I need to return at the store, and so they all have their different baskets, but you would never know it just looking at it because it just looks like decorative baskets. So I would recommend getting yourself some quality storage that you don't mind looking at every day. It doesn't all have to look like something that you bought at Office Depot. You can find some really pretty stuff that really speaks to your design style and really goes with your aesthetic, and you can actually use it as decor and keep it out all the time, and it's still a home for all of these different things that you're using really often. The fourth thing is making the most out of your space. I've said it before, but I believe a lot of times when we face storage issues in our homes, when we think we don't have enough room for all of this stuff, or the closet's not big enough, or the cabinets aren't big enough, sometimes it's just that we don't know how to make the most use out of all of the space that we have. So the first thing that I would say is don't ignore the opportunity to kind of go more vertical with your storage. Sometimes we just use the shelves that are already available, but there's a lot of gaps in between it. You'll see this in cabinets. I know for us in the kitchen, I needed some more cabinet storage. The amount of cabinet storage that we had just wasn't fitting enough of our stuff into it, and that was because there was a lot of room left on the table. And so just going to Home Goods and buying these like $2 racks just really helped me get a system out of it and double my storage in the kitchen. So think vertically, especially when it comes to cabinetry and stuff, and a lot of times your closets, you just need to add in like an extra shelf, and you'll see, you know, so much room come from that. Also, I mentioned in last week's video, as I was installing some pull-out drawers in the kitchen cabinets, typically if you're putting something into a cabinet or into a closet, the further back it is, the more that you cannot access it. You know, you have to just put it back there so it can go back there and rot until next year when you want to take everything out of the cabinet to use it. So if you're able to put some things on some sliding shelves and pull it out like a drawer and see everything that's in there and access it, it's a game changer. So you won't find yourself just knocking everything over and getting everything, you know, messed up and out of the way. But if you can really see everything at once, that really helps too. Another tip that I have for you is inside of closets or wherever you're trying to organize things, look for bins that don't have this little V shape. Look for ones that are straight edge, because if they're V shape and you stack several next to each other, you're leaving a lot of room up for grabs. So if you find straight edge ones, you can get clear acrylic ones at some different places. I know they have them at Target, they have them at the Container Store, but if you can get straight edge containers that will really stack exactly next to each other, you're gonna make the most out of all of that space and not leave anything up for grabs. Another thing that really helps in closets is to just bite the bullet and swap out all of your hangers for like the really thin velvet ones, and that can maximize your storage so much rather than the thicker plastic hangers that you find. If you get those velvet ones, they can really condense your storage and just help you get everything into a smaller working space. The last thing that I'll mention is inside of drawers. Use dividers. Whether it's inside of a drawer that you're putting socks and scarves and pajamas in, or if it's a kitchen drawer that you have a million things to sort through, use dividers to help you make a system out of it. There's nothing worse than a drawer just piling up with more and more stuff, and then it gets on top of each other, and then the drawer gets jammed and you can't even get into it to access all the things that you need. You know, just putting all of those dividers in there can really help you make the most out of all of your drawers. The very last thing is almost an optional tip, but this is fun to relearn different ways of folding and stacking things. We probably all got into it with the Marie Kondo videos and stuff, but just kind of doing origami on the way that you fold things and learning a new trick as far as, you know, taking the time to learn a new way to fold a towel. I've recently been doing this and just folding, you know, 2 or 3 things differently, and it's made a big difference in my storage. I'll give you one example, like folding kitchen towels, like the longer kitchen towels. I've actually started folding them like normal, like into thirds, but then rolling them all the way up. I can get so many of them into the drawer, whereas before I could hardly, stack them all, and then they would get thicker on one end and they get jammed in the drawer and all that stuff. Teaching yourself a new trick when it comes to folding can just really help you make sense of all the things that you have going on, especially in like a linen closet. You have towels everywhere and they can just start looking messy and all stacked on top of each other, but if they're all folded the exact same way, just opening that up, you can just feel like a sense of relief knowing that there's a system to them and that they look really nice and presentable. All right guys, I know that was a different video, but I hope you guys enjoyed that today. And as you enter into January and the new year, trying to get things organized in your life, that you'll look back on these tips and maybe incorporate some of those into your home so that you can come up with a system that just really takes some clutter out of your life and makes things more aesthetic for you and just gives you a little bit of happiness whenever you open those cabinets or drawers or closets. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like it, leave a comment, or share it with a friend, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful world.